Are KTM motorbikes as cheap as they're gonna get? 25% off of one of those, 3 grand off of the original RRP. Are we looking at what might be the best KTM pre-reg deal in the country? So we'll flip the camera because let's just get straight on with it. And the least amount of time you spend looking at my face, the better. So I've come to Judd Racing in Nottingham. So this is where I picked up my £20 a month fluky finance deal Norton Commando. Yeah, so what happened back in February, KTM dropped the price, and so did Husqvarna actually, dropped the price on all their bikes, but things do get a bit cheaper still if you're happy to go for a pre-reg. Yeah, there comes a point when, bikes have to get shifted and they get pre-registered by the dealer, so technically that means if you get one, you're not the first owner, but it's for all intents and purposes a brand new bike and you get a massive savings. So, for example, oh look, there's a Norton there. So, for example, we have this 890 SMC. Yeah, all things considered, probably my favorite KTM, and look at that. So that is what I'm going to do actually, I should say, in this video, is I'm going to be comparing these prices with the discounts. It's going to be compared to the original RRP, not to the recent price reductions, and that's what's here actually, $12.99. That's the RRP for an SMT, and look, you can see there, down to, well, 9.7. That is a pretty chunky discount actually. Let me just crunch the numbers. The promotional price is 11 grand, so actually you've got already an extra 1,300 on top of that, and it works out at a chunky 3 and a bit grand savings. So that means a discount of 25%. There you go, 25% off of one of those. Or things get a bit chunkier here. So there we go, Super Duke GT for 15,899. I have seen one of these for 15 grand. There is a 1390 coming as well, but yeah, where KTM have paused production, a lot of the new stuff that we saw at EICMA in Milan last year hasn't actually come through just yet. Duke 125. Yeah, not bad, but I think we can do better, because look, it's only a little bit more for this 390 Duke. So again, yeah, it was 5,699, now 4,299, so yeah, that is slightly less than the discounted price. That's a good point as well. If you want a load of accessories, extra savings to be factored in. So here's a 990 Duke. Yeah, I rode one of these last year and thought it's great in a lot of ways, but it felt a bit expensive, and yeah, the price of those have been dropped to about 11, but yeah, this has got an extra 1,400 quid of stuff on it, including a slip-on exhaust, pillion cover, tank bag, front spoiler, and it's 11,985. RCHC, isn't that nice? Funny enough, not a pre-reg deal. Dirt bikes kind of go over my head a little bit, so I don't know if we'll be talking about those too much. Yeah, there you go. Pretty chunky discounts on these. So TC125, 7.3 down from just over 9. Yeah, there's a 450 there, 8.7 down from 11. Gas stuff. We might as well look at some gas stuff. Like I say, even though dirt bikes are a bit of a mystery to me, I must admit. Oh, that is the new Svartpilen. And yeah, here we have, so this is going to be a brand new bike, 899. Yeah, because I rode one of these for the old job and kind of thought, I liked it a lot. It's surprisingly not as KTM-ish as you'd think, even though it's full of KTM bits, but I thought it was a bit expensive, and then they've duly dropped the price for 899. I have seen a pre-reg deal on these, which is not here, so we'll talk about that in a bit. 790 Duke pre-reg for 6,200. Right, so actually, I have had a word with Johnny from Judd, but actually that hang tag was out of date. This is only 5,800 quid, so that's near enough 30% off. Are we looking at what might be the best KTM pre-reg deal in the country? Quite possibly. I think in percentage terms, it's about there. In terms of the amount of money, obviously no, because you can get something more expensive that's got more money off of it. But percentage terms, yeah, it's not far off 30%, and it's just a really cheap way into motorbike. I mean, think, what can you get for 5,800 quid? You can't even get a Honda CB500 Hornet for that much. And a Honda CB500 Hornet is a worthy motorcycle, but it's a little bit dull. And this is the Duke, so this is, I mean, people are going to get angry because this is the one which is made by CF Moto in China, but I mean, you know, everything's made in China these days. So if you want to be angry about that, you might just have to, you know, live in the woods or something. Missed this one on the way in, but yeah, a 690 SMCR. So yeah, the Super Moto. These are a lot of fun actually, and at the moment, quite a bit cheaper than they were. So yeah, not as, a bit more kind of raw than the Ducati 698 Hypermotard, but that's kind of the appeal. And yeah, on one of these deals with 9.4, that's a lot cheaper. Here's a good one if you like doing massive wheelies, not on the public road of course, because that's naughty. But yeah, look, 3090 Super Duke R, 6899 down from 19599. I've just come back to this kitted out 990 Duke again because for some reason I can't find it on the showroom floor, but there is a 990 Duke for 9699. So yeah, that is it's 1,300 quid off the promotional price, and a whole lot more off of the original RRP. So there we go, bit of bargain hunting. So there's a bit more to do. I'm going to crack out the laptop, talk for a bit more, and then we'll wrap things up. So yeah, the 990 pre-reg deals are all much for muchness actually. You can get them a little bit cheaper elsewhere, but yeah, probably don't need to worry too much about shopping around for those. I did find this though, Super Duke GT. Yeah, look, 790 Adventure as well. Look at this, 7,700. So that's a chunky old saving actually. So previously they were 10,499. Promotional price is 8,699, so yeah, it's even more off of that. So from the RRP, again, that's going to be that'll be about 25% off. This is a 2023, but it is still unused. This is at Lings, and that's 9,995, so just under 10 grand for one of those. Again, that's about 25% off or so. So this is at Iron City Motorcycles, 7,495. So yeah, 3 grand getting for 30% off on a Svartpilen 801. So between that and the 790 Duke, which is here, I think those are probably two right now the best KTM and associated brands deals that you can get. And I think it might be as good as they're going to get. I suppose the question is, would you and should you? Because obviously, you know, some people are a bit nervous about buying from KTM. But I think they are probably, by the looks of it, out of the woods now. There's this whole restructuring plan. They're offloading MV Agusta, which obviously was probably not the best purchase in the first place. It wouldn't make me too nervous. At the same time, I'd understand why you wouldn't be keen, but I think the discounts are such that, you know, I think a lot of people would let that slide. I think people are letting that slide because these bikes are getting sold. So that's a question for you. Are you tempted by these deals? Would you buy a KTM still? Have you bought a KTM in the last few months on one of these pre-reg deals? And yeah, make sure you do all the liking and subscribing and hitting the bell icon and all that stuff. Yeah, bye.